understand your total landed cost. With your total landed cost in mind, you have that frame of reference for assessing any different scenarios, any diversification strategies that you're considering. You have that gauge of the potential impact. So I would say with your total landed cost, consider your product cost, your customs, your insurance, your freight, any other ancillary fees, and your overhead. That's going to be the essentially your formula for total landed cost. From there, if you have a China plus one strategy and you're now assessing broader nearshoring or even reshoring, then start to weigh those intangibles and also things that you can quantify, a lot of which, like Emily stated. So, weigh the trade-off between what tariffs can I expect to pay now or am I already paying versus if I'm going to nearshore or reshore, I might have a higher unit cost. However, can I offset that with faster overall order cycle time, lower inventory carrying costs, and a lower lead time reduction? Can I quantify that? Potential operational compatibilities, perhaps there's more intellectual property protections. Maybe there's other quality levels or lower risk that I can quantify there as well. There's a lot that goes into that equation, but I would also try to consider all of that if you're looking into diversifying. And then the last point is, if you're looking at nearshoring or reshoring, you might be eligible for some programs now that you weren't before. For example, flowing product into a bonded warehouse or a foreign trade zone, also called an FTZ. You might be eligible for duty deferral or duty drawback, depending on if you're using a foreign trade zone for additional processing. You might be able to defer tariffs indefinitely, for example. There are carrying cost trade-offs that you want to weigh for as part of that decision. So it's not something to be taken lightly, but you might qualify. Perhaps you have even inverted tariffs where the tariff that you pay to bring a product into the country is going to be higher than what your finished good might be once you've processed it on US soil. So you have a lower tariff on the finished good than you would have already paid. You can get a refund in that. So things like that you want to consider. And I'll go back to my last question just about understanding your tier 2 and tier 3 suppliers. If there's been passages of ownership along the chain before it came into your possession, like if you're a distributor, for example, you might be able to leverage a program called first sale, where you're paying duties based on the initial value of the product and not all the markups that have occurred along the chain.